Okay, this is where you should be at this particular time. Your artboard should be named brochure outside, brochure inside. Right now, this is brochure inside. Naming the artboard, simply double click and you get the artboard options. With your layers, you should have all of your layers, named and in a specific order. And you can always change these around if you get them wrong. So looking over here, we've worked with the type. We work with putting in backgrounds. Work with putting in borders around your image. And just bringing your artwork in, and also with the type. So I'll just go over a few things, and I'll move them around as I work with them. Right now, as far as type is concerned, you simply click the type tool and then type what you want, which we're going to do a design to, and you can move them around. Make sure you're holding down your shift key to resize, because if you don't and you pull and drag, you'll distort the type, and we don't want that. Changing color of your type, you can either use your fill and stroke here or your fill and stroke here in your control panel. So you can change your type to any color. When you're here and you don't see your colors, you can always come to new swatch and make some swatches, which is the long way. So I would rather you guys just come to the fill here, choose your color, and then it changes your type. As far as putting these little bars in the back, it's simply a rectangle tool, or a rectangle, using the rectangle tool behind the word. And of course, if it looks like this when you draw, I'll change this around. If you have depending on your layers, you can move things from the front into the back. Considering these are both on different layers, because I have a type layer which is above my project 2 layer. So if you notice in hierarchy here, project 2 is below type. So type is gonna always be on the top. That's the reason for your layers, because I can always lock the layer of type and then just work with the background without moving the type. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to your layers. If things were on the same layer, for instance, if I'm in type and I actually drew, I'm going to take this rectangle out, and I actually drew a rectangle on the type tool and it's above the type, I would go to Object, Arrange, and Send to Back. You shouldn't have these issues because you should have your type on a layer by itself above everything else. I'm going to go ahead and move my pattern down here too. Type should be at the top, considering we want it to be above any of the graphics that you guys use. Alright, so that's dealing with this particular area. And if you look here, the bar is just simply stretched across all of the panels here. Let's come to aligning objects. Notice these particular artworks are aligned horizontally. So in order to align objects, I'll copy and paste or clone these two pieces of artwork to show you what a line looks like. Let's just say these are the two images that you're trying to align. You have to marquee both objects. Come to your control panel. For me, I see the icons. Sometimes I see the word align. If you see the word align, you simply click on it and you get the drop down window with all the align tools. So horizontal align center, click that once, and notice that they are aligned. And there's all alignment going here too, except for it's a vertical alignment. So if I needed these to be side by side, I can do the vertical alignment, but notice they're right on top of each other. So, but when they're separate, you still can do um, an alignment, but you want them to be aligned at the top or align them at the bottoms. And since they're the same size, you'll notice that they are aligned at the top and the bottom. So we've aligned these particular objects here. All right, as far as the type is concerned, we went to a website called lipsum.com. And you simply could type in lipsum.com. And we just wanted one paragraph because it's not a lot of type in that area. You generate, you select the text, Control click, press copy, go back to Illustrator. And we were actually using another tool called the area type tool, which is here. So first with the area type tool, you have to give yourself an area to enter your text. Then you choose the area type tool. But you always need to click in the upper left-hand corner of your object, not in the center. If you notice, you'll get this particular message. So you press in the upper left-hand corner. If you have color, it'll disappear. You don't need color, but if you have color, it'll disappear. It's just a container, so you're not going to see the outline of the box. Then I'll do Command V for paste. And so now you have your type, and you can easily resize your text box without distorting your type because you have fluid text as if you were in a Word. The difference between these two is that, let me change my color quickly so you can actually see it. The difference between the regular type tool and the area type tool is that Illustrator reads your type as a piece of artwork. So when you click and move without holding your shift key, you distort it. Notice that it's not getting smaller and it's not changing the orientation of the type. However, in the area type toolbox, it makes your text fluid, so it moves with the size of your box without distorting it. Okay. So far, I've covered quite a bit of things in here, working with your artboards, naming them, your layers. You just simply click, hold, and drag to reorder them. Working with a regular type tool and working with the area type tool, and then also aligning objects. I didn't want to go through this step by step because I give demonstrations during class and it's expected that you pay attention and or take notes on what I'm doing so that you'll know what to do after I've left the front of the class. So I'm not creating videos as a substitute for my demonstrations. So I'm just going to put everything that we do in pieces, but you must pay attention in class. So I just went through a few things that we are using in the brochure. So the next thing that I'm getting ready to go over in the next video is adding your drop shadow, using the draw inside mode, adding a frame to your artwork if it's needed, and possibly adding a background behind your type to put more emphasis on your type. So those are the next things that I'm going through in the next video.